And
So I am seeing this report of the bomb threat in a number of different outlets now. A bomb threat has been reported near the White House. All nearby buildings have been evacuated. Yeah, I do think this is a false flag. Uh, and that doesn't make me like that doesn't mean we're using an Iranian bot farm, right?
Watch Trump.
Uh,
Watch Trump come back and say Iran tried to assassinate me for the third time. Waiting on that tweet.
I've just put a tweet in the nest and it just shows the mentalness of this. So this is by Newswire. They wrote Trump, Israel, and Iran agreed to a ceasefire. Then they wrote Iran have not received any ceasefire proposal. Then Israel declined to comment on ceasefire. Then Iran now say agreed to US proposal with a ceasefire. So this is like we just don't know what's going on at the moment. Is the ceasefire agreed or not? We also don't know what the timeline or its parameters are because is there a ceasefire or not? I mean, sorry, what is the parameters? Is it 6 hours? Is it 12 hours? Is it 24 hours? When's it going down?
well, Trump just said the war is completely over, and I don't believe Israel and Iran will exchange fire again. So that'll just be another.
I think he's just saying this. I think he's just saying this too, so that like his fanboys, like Max and all of them, like and Gunther and all of them, right? So that they don't keep pressing him. I think this is so that they can lean off a bit, and then once you get your little fanboys to lean off once, they'll never come back. Especially on the brain dead population. So we're probably gonna see that, guys.
I'm silly. Can I ask, how do you even create a bomb threat on the White House? Is it just someone picking the phone up and saying, "Hey, there's like explosives there"? Like, what are the
Yeah,
mechanics of a threat?
yeah. It could be as simple as what you just said, and it could be as expansive as maybe seeing someone who can't be, someone walking around the White House or someone having a backpack at a White House which hasn't been identified. Yes, there's a few different various ways that a bomb threat or a bomb threat can be issued at in
So,
a place like the White
so it
House.
was probably an anonymous account on Facebook or Twitter, quote, anonymous account. Yeah, so,
It
sounds
was
like
the
what.
Bro,
Zios. They're already setting up.
why you attacking Ian for?
Well, I'm just saying it was probably them. Usually when that news comes out, they investigate themselves and find no wrongdoing.
So someone asked
Yep,
Brock
just
how
like when
many
they shot
ceasefires
Trump.
that Israel has violated, and the answer is 962. So I really don't recommend Iran accepting the ceasefire.
I'm just gonna say, like, if Iran agreed to a ceasefire, like I said, True said it, but I said it as well for a few reasons. This is like it doesn't make sense from Iran's perspective.
It doesn't, and we'll see from Israel.
The o- the only thing, even that doesn't make sense, but maybe it's got to do with the CNN. Sorry, the Qatar, the bombing in Qatar or something. Maybe this was the forced agreement. Guys, is there someone caught out there?
Yeah, that was me. Mossad just freaking struck my account.
Zio attack.
Man, I was about to say though, this whole thing that's going on in the White House, this is the alley oop. This is the Zios giving an alley oop for, oh, we try to make peace with Iran, but look how they hit the White House. This is what Donald Trump is going to say. This is just an alley oop. They're trying to see how many people bite on it before going through with the false flag, though. That's the key. That's why they're floating this news around. You got to get people to bite on it first before executing it.
I've just posted a video in the Purple Pill. It appears there was some sort of attack in Tehran roughly about 6 minutes ago. I don't know
Yeah,
how
yeah, there
reliable
was.
the source is.
Did I
It's
not?
by suppressed news, so
Did I not announce
we'll
it?
take it with a pinch of salt until something more credible comes out.
Good one, bro. I did see a video of initial reports of an Israeli tagged assassination airstrike against a senior official, but like it's just a random video. But yeah, we did report it. But as you said, what's this? So we have got as mentioned the bomb threat report in the White House. People are evacuating the right now. People are evacuating the White House.
That was all those Hamas people that got over the border. They must have put a bomb in the White House.
Oh, actually, this
Yeah, but
reminds me of some news that wasn't mentioned today. So Representative Anna Paulina Luna, who is a Zionist Jew who's changed her second name to hide her Jewish heritage and then lied about it, and she's also a stripper, and she's also the woman who was put in charge of the Epstein files, which failed, and she's got very chummy photos of Netanyahu. So she said today or yesterday that in her district there was a boat of Iranian nationals trying to sneak into Florida illegally. And then she said she believes in the sleeper cells. She believes in there's a threat of an attack, and she believes it's a very real and imminent danger. So yeah, they're really trying to set the stage for that.
We got Hyder on the stage as well. She's here.
yo, don't do my guy like that.
Oh, come on, Simon, seriously. I know we come from the same country as Jimmy Savile, which is like our equivalent of Epstein. And I don't know if you remember the 1970s. Charlie says don't talk to strangers. But I sent you an edit of that. I think I'm actually going to post that just for a laugh. If there's any people from the 70s and 80s, if you grew up in that era, you grew up in an amazing time, and we used to have these weird TV adverts in Britain. It's just that somebody somehow managed to fit Jimmy Savile in this advert.
I'm an 80s guy. I didn't see the 70s.
Oh,
I was
well, I'm an
around in the
80s guy like
70s.
yourself, so I'll have to show you.
I was in the 70s. I saw that stuff. It's brilliant. Please share it in the nest.
Oh, I will do.
I was going to say on the sleeper cell stuff, I saw warnings going out across the UK from various members of parliament about Iranian and Islamic sleeper cells in the UK. So please, you ain't seen me, guys. I wasn't here.
Trump
Hey
says he
guys,
expects the ceasefire to last forever. Lol.
hey guys, I can explain the ceasefire message from Trump. So if it's so say the Trump message started at 11 p.m. GMT time, right? And he said that look, Iran starts the ceasefire 6 hours from this message. So that's 5 a.m., right? 5 a.m. GMT. And then another 6 hours after that, so Iran starts their ceasefire, and another 6 hours after 5 a.m., Israel starts their ceasefire. And by which time you give it another 12 hours to make sure that nobody is doing anything, right? And that confirms the ceasefire. So after that, so in total, 24 hours would have passed from the moment of that message, and you got the ceasefire. Do you see the logic there? I know it's a bit. I know he didn't explain it very well, but that's what I think
So
it
you
is.
think he's factoring in time zone differences?
No. I mean, whatever he said from the message, right, or from 6 hours. So you assume from that time. So 6 hours from his message, right? Whatever it is. So say the message came at 11 p.m. GMT, right? Say that it is. Then yeah, then 6 hours first Iran stops, and then 12 hours from his message Israel stops, and then you wait 12 hours after that to confirm the ceasefire is in place. And that's when you really confirmed the official announcement that the ceasefire is in place, right? So 24 hours from that message will be the confirmation that, yes, because we've waited 12 hours since Israel stopped, we waited 12 hours since Israel stopped. That means, yes, we can confirm that the ceasefire has finished. And that is 24 hours after the message, that Trump's message. Do you get it?
So basically, based on your interpretation, the Israelis are going to have 12 hours to bomb Iran after Iran is in the
From that
ceasefire.
message, yes. Still, from Trump's message, from the moment he's messaged, they got 12 hours to bomb Iran, and Iran's got 6 hours to bomb from his message. 6 hours to bomb
Right.
Israel, right? So
If they
by
follow
which
that,
wait.
sorry, go.
After Iran stops, technically Israel's got another 6 hours after Iran starts their ceasefire to still bomb them. Do you see what I mean? And then by which time Israel stops, and then assuming that Iran doesn't retaliate, and that's why he's waiting that 12-hour period, given that 12-hour period to say, look, Now we can wait that 12-hour period, and that will basically, after Israel stops or starts their ceasefire, that means stops the fighting. That means that confirms the ceasefire. Do you see what I mean?
That
The logic.
that's like, yeah, that's what they did to Lebanon. That's exactly what they did to Lebanon. They said we would, stop bombing after 12
Exactly.
hours, and that, and then they continued. So that's why it would be a massive L for
Well,
Iran to agree to
exactly.
this. But yeah, you broke it down. You broke it down on the money. That reminds me of the same method they used against Lebanon and
Okay.
Hezbollah.
But that doesn't mean to say that no, another so that's not, so he's just making up as so he's obviously clearly making this up, right? He had to know this. It's all been via phone calls via the Qatari prince, who said, yeah, don't worry, I'll get the supreme leader to agree to this, blah blah blah. When have you ever seen a ceasefire like that, take place over a phone call with assurances from a third party that we don't know the relationship, or we certainly doubt the relationship is that strong, given how much they, and to be honest, the last 12 hours it's been Israel attacking, bombing Iran, all areas of Iran, and without Iranian retaliation so far. So you're saying, and the clock's ticking from Trump's message. You got what now? Is what, 3 hours left, or 3 hours and 15 minutes left? I don't know. The clock's ticking. So you're saying that the Iranians only got 3 hours and 15 minutes left until they're supposed to lay down or stop their retaliation, right? I don't buy it. And I think a lot of people don't buy it. And I think it's a bad idea if Iran agreed to it, not because of selfish reasons. Honestly, if we were dealing with, like everyone said here, and everyone's said here, we're dealing with really untrustworthy, evil, lying actors, participants in the United States, deceitful participants in the United States and Israel. Why and everyone's correctly said that the Israelis have actually broken 900 and whatever, 52, as Grok said, 52 ceasefire agreements. Why would you ever trust them? And they'll make it. And you know what? Iran could start a ceasefire, and then in 2 days' time, and both of them can agree to a ceasefire, and in 2 days' time, Israel will bomb, will assassinate or make there'll be a car bomb, and another nuclear scientist dies, gets killed, and some other factory is bombed, and that's a one-off, and that's not part of the ceasefire. Are you kidding me? So no, I just don't believe this. I don't believe any of what Trump says, and time will tell, certainly.
Sorry, guys, I lost the feed here. I don't know if it was me or what. I'll get back in here again.
We've agreed. That means they appear weak.
I'm
If
going
they said
to
no,
try and
then they don't want
speak.
to piss off the Americans,
I
Trump,
was speaker
and
earlier, but they
seem as if they're
dropped me,
disunited.
and I had to go to
So they
dinner, but
told
I'm
them.
back.
So because otherwise, if they knew about this with Trump, right, they would have actually backed Trump and said, yeah, if it was a legitimate ceasefire that both parties agreed to, both Israel would come out and say yes, we've agreed, as long as the Iranians have agreed, and Iran would come out and say, yeah, we've agreed. But actually, Israelis have not said anything, right? So if they said yes, if they kept, now the fact that they keep stum means they don't know, they are not sure, because they were caught unawares. That's my opinion on that regarding the Israelis. The other point I wanted to mention, oh God, I forgot.
While
Um,
you're thinking of that, can I just hop in and say real quick that we're all forgetting China? And Simon, I'd like to know what you think. Maybe there's a possibility that this is the triangulation of China so that the U.S. remains the hegemony, and Trump is in the back channels making some deal with Iran um, to like really take off all the sanctions, economic freedom and prosperity in the back channels, so that then
Is he breaking up or is it just me?
Yeah, he's
He is right. Yeah. But
he's
I kind of get what he's asking. Like, I kind of had a similar question, Simon. Like, do you think that Iran on the back end, right? Because in order for your theory to be correct, which I kind of believe I believe a lot of your theory, even though a lot of people hate on it. I believe a lot of it, but in a different kind of, in my own fashion. I believe it's probably going to still happen through force. But you know, like, do you think someone on the Iran side is actually going to be willing to negotiate this GCC thing, be cool with the Gulf states, be cool with Trump? And then buy it is with Israel.
I think it's already been negotiated, but I don't think it's about being cool. It's about being, it's about diplomacy. Diplomacy means that you have agreements with your enemies.
But like, who on Iran's side do you think is like would be the negotiator here, or the person to have negotiated a plan like that?
I think it's at the highest
Well,
level, Khamenei.
Moffat, I was breaking up, and my direct question was about China, Simon. Wherein, do you think Trump's making some promises to Iran in the back channels, saying do this and that for us with China, and I'll lift all the sanctions, and you guys will have economic prosperity, et cetera, et cetera. I think this is a triangulation of China. What do you think, Simon?
Well, I think this is
Just got a video coming through of a huge explosion at a radar installation was just struck at Camp Taji in Iraq. So a huge explosion as radar installations were struck by Israel at Camp Taji in Iraq. That's the tweets in the net. Sorry, I'm gonna go ahead.
I think this whole thing is China's deal. Just Trump gets to take credit for it.
So you think you're saying the opposite of what I'm saying?
Well, China normalized between Saudi and Iran. They push forward all those that diplomacy process.
Yeah, but you
China, I
have
believe,
Pete
has already
Hegseth.
won the trade.
Sorry,
Yeah, I believe
sorry.
China's already won the trade war, and I think the GCC pitched a vision that involves them being between BRICS and America.
So what's the point of
Yeah.
this back and forth thing then? Like, with this missile being sent here, this missile being sent there.
This is how you remove the hardliners, weaken Israel, was my theory, and then end up in a situation where everyone gets to go back to their respective parties. And then following this, I think we get an overthrow of the cabinet, a regime change in Israel, and then, yeah, light on the details of how we actually get there. But I think that's the end result, and this is what you need to deliver in order to essentially denuclearize, de-weaponize, and set the order at the end of this. And then Trump takes credit for creating world peace, calls it Abraham Accords 2, maybe, gets his Nobel Peace Prize, but China did the whole deal.
Simon, just a quick point. China, I can transition that segue that easy. So there's 2 convoys from China headed to Tehran right now as we speak on flight radar.
Interesting. What do you think that is
So
truth?
be a lot of things, likely some munitions, precursors. Make sure they're fully stocked for. I mean, they don't wait till they run out to receive, right? They want to make sure they're fully stocked. I don't think there's going to be a ceasefire. So it's on to the knockout rounds. That's my expectation, but we'll see.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I don't think this is it.
Also, we have to remember what the Israelis said today, in the sense that the next few days going to be very, very harsh. We're going to attack Iran very, very hard, and I think in the hope to convince them to end the war. I believe that's what they said in multiple sources. Now, if you were to take that, if you were to believe that, it explains why the Israelis suddenly became quiet and banned any minister from talking about what Trump's message was. So when you think about that, they had the plan to try to go for one last push, or maybe it's an intimidation tactic, like people said, to intimidate Iran to try and talk to get a ceasefire deal. But Iran would know, and like we all know, it seems like Israelis are getting really hurt badly, And Iran has said many times this is a war of attrition. With some generals have said 6 months, some generals have said 2 years. So take that at face value. To be honest, who knows? But they do have history on their side, in the sense they're built for long wars. They're built for an 8-year war. They're very patient people, whereas you can't say that about the Israelis. They're very impatient. They're very radical, irrational. So yeah, that, and they rely upon the element of surprise and cunningness. So with all that being said, they plan to have another 3-day.
Guys, just some breaking news. I am hearing reports. This has not been verified. Doesn't need to be checked out. But some of the chatters are saying that possibly Iran's supreme leader may have been assassinated. I'm not saying it happened. Don't take them by word for it. It is some chatter. It could be fake news. But this is what some of the Telegram channels are
Wait,
saying.
what was that? What was that, Suleiman?
That according to some chatter on some groups, which may be fake news, needs to be verified, needs to be checked, but there is some claims that Iran's supreme leader may have been assassinated.
Wow.
That would
So Simon,
that would
if that's the case, does your theory break, Simon? If that's the case?
I didn't expect that move. I don't know if it breaks the theory, but I didn't expect that move, and I didn't think that would be part of the plan.
it would make sense why we haven't heard a tweet from him. That wasn't funny. Was
Wow.
that too soon?
Wow.
Was that too soon?
that was too soon.
Just 1 second, guys.
That was-
Guys, 1 second, please. Can we keep it? It's important, right? Because a lot of people respect him as well. So I don't it's like taking the piss out of a Pope. Like it wouldn't be.
Yeah, I
acceptable.
apologize, man. I didn't mean that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
No,
was way
I'm not
too
Shia.
soon.
I'm not Shia myself, but I just respect like people of other sects and groups. Like I wouldn't take the mick out of the Pope when people are insulting the Pope when he died and being like, "Oh my God, we don't care. This woke guy died." I was like, that's low class behavior. So I just like to respect other people's religions, even though I'm not a Shia myself. I still respect them. I respect their religion and their belief system.
Sorry, just to put it out there, they've made this claim in the past that they remember when they're trying to capture the headlines, they either assassinated him or also ex Prime Minister Ahmadinejad and his whole family. Both ended up being
So-
lies. We'll see.
So the claim is Iran opposition media are claiming that Iran's supreme leader's residence was targeted with dozens of bunker buster bombs.
So this is now the mainstream media, Suleiman. The mainstream Zion media is claiming this.
Iran's opposition is saying it.
All right, we'll take it as a grain of salt.
Yeah, of course.
Someone could
All of this,
recycle me. I
all of
can't
this,
hear you,
guys,
Suleiman,
take
at
with
all.
1 second, guys. All of this, take it with a grain of salt. This could all be fake news. It could all be propaganda. None of it may be real, but just that where I'm giving you information, which we're receiving, it could be fake news or not, and I'm letting you know that. Sorry, Heather, jump in.
Let's hope it's fake
I
news.
think-
Otherwise, Iran is gonna strike U.S. very hard.
Oh yeah, this is massive, guys. Hit the repost. This is huge news. If they did it, might be Israel's worst mistake. This is major news. True.
You're breaking up again. Like, if this, so there's 2 points. If this wasn't part of the agreement, and this is done, this should like end any form of agreement, right? If this is true. On the other hand, if this is some agreement that's occurred behind closed doors to get the ceasefire and someone's betrayed him, then that could be the other reason why there was a ceasefire. So these are all factors one needs to consider.
A US base was bombed
Yeah, this is huge.
in Iraq. It's an Iraqi-owned base, an Iraqi one, but US soldiers use it. It's the
I'm also
Taji
hearing, guys, and I'm just giving you the information. I'm just hearing that it could be his son and it may not be him.
Yeah, I'm hearing that it's an important figure, but if it was Khamenei,
That's even worse.
Yeah, he's going to be successor, and it's obvious that they were going to try. And this is why Reuters who announced it was his son and Khomeini,
I saw
the
that.
grandson of Khomeini, the Ayatollah Khomeini, who the revolutionary founder. They were the two in line. They were two favorites. So I thought to myself, as soon as I read that, I thought, right, they're going to be targeted for assassination now.
The son was more hardline as well.
I know, and he was sort of suppressing some dissent from reformists. But even though, which you'd expect in times of war, but even though, and Khomeini's grandson as well was a second favorite, and you can tell that he's going to be in line to be assassinated too. They want to.
Yeah, if that's true, Netanyahu's kids are fair game too.
And truth, it's like the Mexico.
Including Yair.
It's like the Mexico.
If they're so good at assassinating, though, why do they keep bombing the hell out of Gaza like the way that they are? Like,
Truth. It's like the Mexico elections. Like, I don't know, was it 200 people got assassinated until you got
37 political assassinations to get Claudia Scheinbaum in.
exactly to get the Jew in.
It's a pretty serious subject though. We've got to probably take this seriously.
Sorry, but I mean, yeah.
Yeah, this is nasty.
I'm laughing
news,
about
man. This is nasty news, guys.
Not the Iran thing, because that was I couldn't believe it when I heard that. But with this one, I inshallah, I really hope that it's not
insane.
Khomeini, and I really hope it's.
Those of you who are listening,
it's
let
not.
me know if you can hear me.
It's much the
We're getting up and down.
But Iranian sources are refusing the claim.
People viewing then coming
either
off.
way,
people viewing coming off. Let me know if you can hear okay.
Unless that was part of the agreement.
Look, there was no ceasefire agreement that was reached. Those bogus.
Yeah, I know, but I would
promise
never
made from a Qatari prince.
I've never heard of a ceasefire agreement based on the assassination of somebody, a couple of hours before the ceasefire starts.
No, because
I'm not part of the panel
in that
yet.
scenario, it wouldn't be like,
I requested to speak. I was a speaker earlier,
obviously wouldn't be.
but got
What
dropped
they do
down.
is like a multi-layered agreement.
Going to be
let's say the reformists
requesting a
mic
mic here in probably
we'll have
a little
a
while.
ceasefire, but we're going to take Khamenei or his son out.
A lot of things are happening.
But the strike happened after Trump's announcement.
Exactly.
Didn't something like this happen? I can't remember who, but someone in Hamas's family, where they came after his children and his partner.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's typical Israel activities. That's why I never believed in the ceasefire from the beginning. And this breaking news just proves it. I hope it's incorrect, though. I hope it's fake news, too, because it would be a big loss.
Yeah, if this is real, they already violated the ceasefire before it even began. This is ridiculous.
I mean, technically, they haven't violated the ceasefire yet. They're meant to stop all activities in 12 hours after Trump's speech.
Yeah, but you don't go to ceasefire after this. It's all
you assassinate
the
the supreme leader and expect a ceasefire? Like, come on, dude. This is
yeah.
literally World War
over.
III.
It's never no deal.
Yeah, that's
this is World War III.
So by the way, this is being rejected by some Iranian sources. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like something that.
Also, I'm hearing that it was actually a nuclear scientist has also been killed.
This does sound like Zio propaganda.
I'm hearing in Iranian channels they're just saying an important figure in Iran has been assassinated. That's all. I mean, several.
I've got alternative news. It's not related, but it's weird. It's about one of the top Zionists, which is Laura Loomer. She apparently installed a spy camera in a journalist called Lauren Witzk and lied about her. Yeah,
I saw that.
Stole apparently $60,000 from her.
Wait, what happened? Say it.
Who stole who? Who stole what?
Well,
so
let's see. Between the Jew and the Gentile, who do you think stole from who?
Lauren Witch is like Stu Peters is like a girl / producer. Stu Peters accused of stealing stuff off him, and then now Lauren Witch, I believe, works for Nick Fuentes. But Laura Loomer basically apparently stole 60 grand off her and put a camera in her room where she was able to see like all transactions or whatever.
And she tries to act like Nick's friend. She's been trying to act like Nick's buddy this
What
whole
about-
time. That's why you never get buddy to a Zionist.
Phil said, "Can't trust the Jews. Keep them at arm's length."
I'm hoping that it's only a nuclear scientist that's been assassinated and not anybody else. And even then, that's still bad.
Man, this nuclear science job, and it's a dangerous job.
So yeah, a nuclear scientist has allegedly been assassinated by Tehran. This is why they shouldn't have agreed to the ceasefire. Like, even if, like, hypothetically, if the ceasefire has been agreed and then these guys are just going on a killing spree, it clearly was something that was planned, orchestrated, whatever it may be. You just don't agree to it. Like, again, this just adds to the whole point. If
I
you're
don't think they
Israel,
agreed to it. Yeah, I don't think
yeah,
they
yeah, that's
agreed
what I
to it.
said.
Yeah,
If it's
that's why
Israel,
they're quiet. That's why the Israelis have been quiet and they've been ordered not to say anything because they knew what the next operation was, and they had a target of maybe I don't know how many assassinations and attacks on Iran over the next 2-3 days.
Or 12 hours, to your point.
That's not my point. That's
By
Trump's
the way,
message.
Solomon, I
Sure.
found yet another source on that Mossad chief from MSN. See, what Israel tried to do is scrub the headlines. There was one they couldn't, and that was from MSN.com. Iran kills Mossad chief David Barnea. So you know they're pissed off. That was 2 days ago, by the way.
Oh yeah,
it's
We
I
haven't seen
posted
anything.
it.
tomorrow. Breaking news: explosions were heard at the airport in Baghdad. Explosions were heard at the airport in Baghdad. Listen, I think, like, I know Truth says it's fake. Let's say hypothetically it isn't fake, and they've agreed to this. They've agreed to, like, Israel to basically accelerate and just bombard them in a significant manner. If this has been agreed as a ceasefire, I think it's a complete and total failure by Iran, in my view.
It's like watching The Purge, but on a nation state level.
Dude, it's like quitting a boxing match in the 6th round of a 12-round fight. It's unheard of. When you're
No,
winning.
but this
When
is
you're
what
winning,
Israel
though,
does,
bro, like,
man.
you've got a point where you're basically fighting Southpaw. The other guy's like, damn, I didn't realize this guy, like, I didn't know how to defend against Southpaw. The guy's smashing you up, and then you're like, oh, guess what? We're gonna take a break now. Well, I'm gonna give you a year to figure this out. Like, it's just ridiculous.
And there's no second chance at this. This is it.
No, but
No, they're
Israel's
in the best
using the
chance to do
division.
it right now.
They're
You got to seize
using
the
the
moment.
division between Muslims to fuel like Israel's return. Like that's what they're doing. They're giving Israel
The
time by
division's always been there.
yeah. But
It's not
what
like
do you think
they're
Trump
using
is
it. They've
doing
always
right
been
now,
using
dude?
it. What do you think
Trump
they've been
is
doing? Who's been
literally
defending it? Who's been defending Israel? It's been coming out of what?
yeah.
The
But what do you
bases in
think Trump
Jordan.
is doing, dude? He's gaslighting the Arabs in order to get them to fight Iran on his behalf. That's what's going
Dude,
on, and the Arabs are too stupid to see
he
it.
doesn't need to gaslight them. He just tells them what they want to hear, and they're in already. Okay, here's more
Yeah, but
weapons.
that's
Here, we
dude,
give you
that's
nuclear
literally
energy.
that's gaslighting, bro. He's putting gas on the fire, which is already spreading in the Middle East. Right now, there's a lot of division between Muslims. Sunnis are insulting Shias, Shias are insulting Sunnis. A lot of Sunnis don't stand with Iran and they don't support it because of the genocide that they did on Syria. I understand that.
They never did a
But
genocide in Syria. That was ISIS and Al Qaeda. And it's liars like you that spread bullshit
no,
like
no,
that
no.
and
I'm not lying.
that
I'm
incite
just
the
saying what
sectarian.
they're
You're full of
saying.
No,
shit. It was
it is.
ISIS and
Is
Al Qaeda that did it,
Listen,
and you're trying to
I'm
pin
not
it
here
on
to
Iran.
argue
And you're
about that.
trying to claim a million losses. You fucking Sunnis are the
I'm
one that
not
caused all the
no, no,
fucking
don't
problems.
group me
You're the
with them
fucking
because I don't
problem here,
say that.
buddy.
Don't
Yeah,
group
you
me
don't
with
say
them
you
because
just
I
did. You just
support
put out a
Iran. You know I
bullshit lie.
support Iran, okay?
Listen. I don't care what you
Truth.
support.
You don't
Dude.
have to jump
You're
at
all
me
about
and
your
bark
feelings.
at
You
me,
don't know
bro.
anything. For 11 years,
This
there
guy
was peace
Truth
and
tells
Oh
harmony
us
in
my
like
Syria
god.
under Assad. What
Can you
happened?
just let
What
me
happened?
finish my
he's
point?
What
smart, but
happened
he's a
under Assad? Was
psychopath.
anyone complaining about
Can you
sectarian
let me
strife?
finish my
No.
point
Then the
before cutting
ISIS
me
Al
off?
Qaeda armies came. They were backed by who? Qatar and Saudi Arabia. They
I'm
came and did the
explaining to you
400,000 murders,
why
and your dumbass is trying to put it on Iran
I'm
because you're too much of
explaining
a
to you
chicken
why
shit
Arabs
coward
don't
to
support
acknowledge the
Iran.
fact that you Sunni supremacist guerrilla terrorists are the ones that cause all
Oh
the
my
fucking
god.
problems. Okay, you guys are the ones fully indoctrinated and radicalized through your Wahhabi bullshit faith that you simp for, you fucking idiot. So
I
why don't you
don't
just come
simp
out
for
and
them.
own the fact that
I
you
don't
guys are the
simp for
cause of
them.
the problems because you
That's your
simp for the
problem.
Jews.
You think
Every single
anybody
Sunni
who speaks
sectarian
the truth
state
is
simps
simping
for the
for
Jews,
Wahhabis,
whether
bro?
it's
This is
Jordan,
No,
ridiculous.
Egypt,
not
Turkey.
speaking.
I can name them all for you. Okay, guys. Let's not get into the Syria thing. Let's keep it on track. Um, by the way, I'm Sunni as well, but obviously I don't agree with the rebellion in Syria. So, but the point being, this is not about that. Let's just bring it back on hand to the issue that we're talking about. If that's all right, guys. We're seeing footage. I probably posted it, but I posted the wrong thing, so I was too busy trying to see what you guys were talking about. But there is, I'm going to be posting now in a few seconds, footage of Israeli airstrikes near the Azadi cinema in central Tehran. There's a lot of footage coming out. There's heavy bombing, heavy bombardment of Tehran right now. It is significant and it is ferocious, and it's happening right now. It's significant. I'm concerned. I'm concerned in the sense of this looks like it was Israel stepped it up in terms of not only the bombing, not only the attacks. It looks like the assassinations. They've taken out a nuclear scientist. They may have taken out again. Like I said, it may or may not be true.
They may have taken out the supreme leader of Iran or his son, although we're getting reports that this is fake. We're getting other reports saying that some senior person has been taken out. So again, this is all unverified, unconfirmed. We're just checking this news
Suleiman, this
as
is
and
a
when.
classic case of Israelis fucking up, being too arrogant. Even though Trump is literally giving them their win on a silver
That's
platter, they're gonna
exactly
fuck
right.
it up. They're
This
gonna
guy's
find
exactly
some
right.
way,
Now they're
somehow,
getting
to
arrogant.
fuck it up and still do what they want. And that's what's happening here. Trump is setting them up to win, and they're fucking it all up. And we're literally just watching it happen. And Iran can't like agree to this ceasefire. I pray to God that they just start striking Israel again, because that's what we need right now. We can't just sit around and watch Iran just get cucked by the US. Like that's not that can't happen, dude. Like after everything that's happened, everything that's gone down, now they've assassinated possibly the